Hello and welcome. My name is Zafar Iqbal and you are watching The Mojo Story. India has summoned Maldives envoy over the row that erupted following Prime Minister Modi's pictures in Lakshadweep. Now, a social media row erupted initially after a minister in Maldives uh, took to Twitter and criticized the Prime Minister's visit to Maldives recently. And that tweet was later on deleted. It was a derogatory tweet. The language used was extremely derogatory, but there was a backlash within Maldives only. Former president of Maldives, Mohammad Nasheed, condemned the minister's comments, highlighting India's role as a key ally for the security and prosperity of Maldives. In fact, uh, Maldives has since suspended three ministers, including the concerned minister. But to speak more on this, we're joined by ex administrator of Lakshadweep, Farooq Khan Sahab. Farooq Khan Sahab, welcome to the show. How do you see these developments? The minister suddenly, all of a sudden, seemed to be none of his business. The prime minister was in Lakshadweep, and the minister tweeted, and then the series of developments that took place after that.
Zafar, it was not one minister. In fact, three of them joined this bandwagon. And one, when you notice that three ministers of a government are uh, tweeting in a manner which is not only derogatory of the country, but of one of the tallest leader of the world, that shows that it was not incidental that one odd minister got up and felt like saying something. There is something much more uh, than just a tweet in this. Uh, in my humble opinion, it's the China's hand behind these utterances. These despicable utterances wouldn't have come just like that. And everybody knows that China's influence in Maldives is increasing day by day. And this was not the first time that a Maldivian minister or a Maldivian uh, parliamentarian has said something derogatory to India or criticized India, especially vis-a-vis happenings in Lakshadweep.
Yeah.
These are the utterances which, on one hand, can be seen as their discomfort with Lakshadweep coming up as a pristine virgin tourist destination. But on the other hand, the Chinese hand cannot be ruled out, and China, as you know, is trying to increase its sphere of influence not only in Indian Ocean but also in Arabian Sea, and this is one such crude attempt. And
And
as far
yeah,
as the comments are concerned,
yes.
these comments don't deserve any reaction from us. It's below the dignity of any respectable Indian to respond to these madman's utterances.
Yes, but what you indicate is that there seemed to be a pattern here. It was just one minister, but it was followed by the second, followed by the third. It cannot but be a coincidence, and there could be a strong indication, a Chinese instigation behind all of this.
Exactly, Zafar. That's what I was trying to say. That there is a scheme behind these kind of you know utterances, and uh, you know that China is trying to have a very strong presence in Maldives, and by doing so, they are trying to ensure that Maldives, which had been our very close friend, is drifts apart, despite the fact that every time Maldives has faced a problem, whether it was a severe drinking water problem, whether it was a cyclone, every time India went out of its way to help Maldivians. And not only the government, but also the uh, the citizens of Maldives. Indians, Indian tourists have been contributing a lot to the Maldivian economy, which is almost 99% dependent on tourism. And Maldives has only, Maldives tourism has dug its own grave
Yeah.
by these utterances, because Indians are very self-respecting people, and they have shown their resentment. And I don't think in coming future, until and unless they come begging on their knees, uh, ask for the Indian forgiveness, no self-respecting Indian would ever be going to Maldives.
And that is why it's very, difficult to understand that on one hand their economy is dependent on tourism, on the other hand most of the tourists who go there go from India. Isn't it suicidal to make such remarks? Because it's not a rocket science to understand that their economy is directly or indirectly dependent on India.
Zafar, you have noticed that, I'm sure of that Maldives is now being ruled by a fundamentalist party, uh, and whenever this kind of fundamentalism comes in, you start getting the kind of comments which we experienced. And on one hand, we have the Chinese influence; on the other, the hardliners, Islamists have taken over the country, and the results are for everybody to see. And it is going to be Maldives' loss, a huge loss at that. I can even sympathize with the ordinary Maldivians, because they would be the ones who would be facing the brunt of this problem.
Right. Maldives has since then taken some steps. It has tried to crack the whip, suspended three ministers, tried to distance itself from the utterances of these ministers. Do you think it is enough or much more need to be done?
Nothing short of an unconditional apology by the government of Maldives would suffice. What is this suspension? Suspending a minister. What does it mean really? I have not come across any such instance where a minister has been suspended. Their suspension means what? Like I said, nothing short of uh, an unambiguous, unconditional apology would suffice. Nothing less than that. And
Right.
we are a proud nation, and any dirt thrown on us would be reacted to in the strongest possible way. We
And
are, yes, please
yes, yes,
continue.
sir. No, 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 sir. You carry on. Yeah.
I said we are led by one of the tallest leaders of the world, who has
Right.
never ever criticized Maldives in any way
Right.
whatsoever possible. In fact, um, uh, Honorable Prime Minister had been going out of his way to extend hand of friendship to all the neighboring countries, Maldives being one of those. And Maldives had always been receiving the best possible treatment from us. Now,
Right.
why this sudden change? Why this sudden change? Is it because of the uh, party's politics there, or is there Chinese influence working? I'm sure it's a combination of the two. And uh, Lakshadweep, which has been projected to the whole world by a simple visit of the Honorable Prime Minister. In fact, it was Honorable Prime Minister's second visit to Lakshadweep. Earlier, when Cyclone Oki came, immediately after that, because Lakshadweep had suffered very badly. So uh,
Yeah.
the Prime Minister, on his tour to the affected states, his first stop was Lakshadweep. He came to Kavarati, where incidentally I was at that time heading the administration there, and he went out of his way to extend fullest possible help to the not only the Lakshadweep administration but also to the to all the sufferers of the Oki cyclone. Uh, this time, when Prime Minister came, in
Yeah,
fact, his very presence there has introduced Lakshadweep to the whole world.
right,
Lakshadweep, Safar, you must know, it's one of the world's remaining few pristine virgin areas which have not been affected by overcrowding of tourists, which have not been affected by pollution, which is one of the cleanest places on earth. And when um, a convoluted brain uh, says that the rooms there smell, I wish he would sometime come there and compare the smell coming out of the lagoons of Maldives with the pristine blue waters of lagoons of Lakshadweep. And the villages, the small those towns are the cleanest in the world. You hardly find a speck of uh, litter around. Nothing at
right.
all. Nothing.
And is that also another reason? See, you were heading the administration there. You would have seen the transformation of Lakshadweep in all these years. Now, what it has come to, and that is precisely the reason when the Prime Minister went there and all those visuals uh, were on the social media, they were ordinary Indians and celebrities coming in and saying, look at the place that is right in our backyard in India, and we're going here and there. Is that also, could that possibly be a reason for these particular set of ministers in Maldives to feel sort of irritated and, they could not digest it?
They were definitely irritated because they know it better than anybody else that Lakshadweep has the potential of coming up as a challenger to Maldives in tourism.
Right.
Lakshadweep has been getting uh, special attention right since uh, Honorable Prime Minister took the reins of power in 2014. Uh, Niti Aayog was tasked with uh, constructing a detailed plan, a project for the holistic development of these beautiful coral islands. You must be knowing that these are the only coral reefs in the Arabian Sea, and uh, these are the only ones still unaffected by the pollution, by any kind of you know mm, uh, uh, pollutants going into the water.
Yeah.
Now, since last couple of years, Niti Aayog as well as Government of India and Ministry of Home Affairs especially have been working tirelessly
Right.
to ensure that Lakshadweep gets a kind of tourism infrastructure where the footfalls are regulated because these are very eco-sensitive islands. These cannot be overburdened, and that is the reason that the entry to the UT is regulated. It's not regulated for any other reason but to ensure that uh, on any given point of time, only a given maximum number of people can be accommodated there. People think that probably there's a permit Raj there in Lakshadweep. It's not so. It's a confusion created in various circles, and through your channel, I would like to clear that any person, Indian or foreigner, if he wants to visit Lakshadweep, he just has to inform the Lakshadweep Tourism Development Authority, and there would be the information is required to ensure that he has a proper place to stay. He has a proper means of commuting between different islands, so that his comfortable stay is guaranteed.
Right. And also, all those visuals of the Prime Minister in Lakshadweep, that has also projected Lakshadweep in a big way. it's already people who are not noticing it. They have sort of noticed it, that here is a beautiful place right in the country which has so much tourism potential that need to be explored. There are other tourism places across the country, but they are already known and crowded most of the time. But here is an unexplored uh, place that can be explored, and that is such a beautiful place for tourism. But Farooq Khan Saab, I wanted to ask you that we saw also some sort of a backlash within Maldives, opposition, the former president criticizing, going on to Twitter and saying that this is not done, the government should distance it. Do you think that that will make some difference?
Well, it's good to notice that some of the right-thinking people in Maldives
Yeah,
are coming up very strongly against those utterances.
yeah,
And as I was telling you, Maldives had been one of our closest neighbors, closest friends, and we had always been. Maldives is a very, very small country, you know it.
yeah.
Um, a tiny little place compared to India. But we had been treating Maldives as a friend, as an equal friend, and taking care of its you know needs in times of distress, in time of need. Now, the ex vice president and others who have spoken against those utterances, they are the ones who had been, you know, um, in the government when the government was friendly to us. No, it's no more. It's not the first time they have said something. Earlier, also, similar kind of, not similar exactly, but some critical comments were made about India's handling of Lakshadweep, and it was sheer interference in the internal affairs of the our country, which would not be tolerated. But still, like an elder brother, we didn't react very strongly to that. But this time, enough is enough, and they shall have to, uh, you know, face the music this time.
Right. They shall have to tender an
Unconditional apology
unconditional apology.
must.
That's what
In
Farooq
fact,
Khan.
nothing less should be accepted.
Nothing less should be accepted. The former administrator of Lakshadweep telling us, and also indicating that there could be a possible Chinese hand behind all of this. Thanks so much for joining us, Farooq Khan Saab. We'll keep a close track of that story. Thanks for joining us and for watching the Mojo story. Bye for us from for now.
Thank you, Gopal. Thank you.
Mojo Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.